Hey guys, guess what? Oh my god, it's Artosis. Welcome to game number 4 in the ultimate battle between Motive and Scan. If you haven't seen those first 3 games, they are in this playlist. Do check them out. Okay, so now that the people who haven't seen them are out of the way, right now Scan does lead 2-1. It's been pretty nice back and forth. Definitely a lot of early scuffles and interesting openers, and I guess this game is going to be more of the same. Looks like this probe coming over is most certainly going to be making a proxy gateway and probably stealing the gas. You can see Motive very low on probes in his main base, sending this out oh so quickly. So down goes the pylon. So this should probably be a single gate. I'd be pretty surprised if you went double proxy gateway. That's like a build that can overwhelm people that aren't that good at micro, but you don't really expect that to work very often at, you know, once you get up to a reasonably high level. I would say like up into about mid A it works quite a lot, but after that not so much. But yeah, it looks like he makes the one gateway going in towards the main base. You can see this depot only about halfway done, so he might get the double whammy here of blocking the barracks a little bit and stealing the gas. Let's see how he decides to play it. Yeah, gets in here immediately. Scan brings the second SCV, blocks the probe, and actually gets the barracks down in a pretty darn good location, so can't be complaining about that. I'm sure that we will be seeing this gas taken. There it goes. So Motive's build off to a pretty decent start. Do notice this Sim City. You can make another depot here, and then you have a micro hole there, a micro hole here, and a micro hole here that Marines can go through, but Zealots cannot. So very, very much micro potential for your Marines. Second barracks starts up just blindly without scouting the gateway, which I think is a good play. He'll probably send an SCV pretty soon just to kind of check you know, if there is a gateway at home or not, and then he can decide whether he wants to cancel this. I think he will let it finish. Plenty of Marines to fight off the incoming Zealots. First Zealot now is out, heading towards that Terran base. See how much damage he can get done. The probe's still microing frantically, but honestly, it's not getting that much damage. Like, we have some damage to CVs and everything, but Scan pretty much on top of fighting back. Now, this SCV actually popped to the wrong side there, and the Zealot getting some extra hits. Zealot and probe going back over, hoping to get hits here. Oh, unlucky SCV there, but does slide through at the end. Very, very nice. Probe and Zealot coming down, trying to fight the SCV. Oh, he does get that SCV kill. Very well done. The second Zealot entering in as well. Wow, that SCV slides right over. Beautiful there for Scan. The probe almost ends up dying here. Zealots being microed frantically. We do have the second gateway and gas at the Protoss base on the way, by the way. Oh my god, and actually gets another SCV kill. Gets some damage onto one Marine as well. I would say so far we're seeing pretty good micro from Motive. He is doing a good job, no doubt. A depot going up. That's kind of an interesting location for a depot. Zealots come in and target it down. And, I mean, he's got enough Marines that he can kind of just fight this. Brute forces his way through. Like, obviously, you could have taken a little bit less damage, but that does give them an option to run away as well. By standing there to fight, it's harder for the Zealot and probes to run away because you'll take so many hits on the way out. So a lot of times it's better to just trade it and get the damage that you can. Now, we have a good, solid 6 Marines. 2 more coming, 2 more queued up. Pushing out. There's only 2 Zealots out, so he can go and fight with these 2 SCVs as well. Just has to make sure that he is targeting. More Zealots being made. That Cybernetics core is about halfway done. Yeah, as that third Zealot pops out, the third Zealot actually makes the Marines lose. So he does have to back up into a more defensive stance. He has reinforced some more, building a bunker as well. Looks like we're pretty done on that Marine production. And I tell you, the one thing I really would like to see from Scan is pushing up and getting rid of the gateway. But I guess with that many Zealots and the type of micro that Motive is displaying, where he's like running up the hill and then running back down, it's easier said than done, right? It would be pretty difficult to force that through. Either way, a very fast expansion here from Scan. Whereas we look over on the side of Motive, and he started goon range, but it's not like particularly quick or anything considering the opener. And he's got enough Marines to just kind of hold off the Zealots. So yeah, I don't think we're really gonna see. It just feels to me like Scan is a little bit ahead here, right? Oh, great blocking there on the SCV. Not going to be able to scout, so that will probably force him to get slightly earlier detection than he would otherwise, because you can't know for sure. But yeah, basically, Dragoon range is a ways off. I'm sure he'll pump as many Dragoons as possible. I think we're going to go pretty close to all in here as Motive. He is still making probes and not adding anything else. So we should see a gate or a Nexus as well. So I guess all in isn't really the right word. But like, look at the amount of units he has. He's going to make a very, very, very strong attack. Probably like 4 goons and then 6 zealots. And if you don't get all of your SCVs up on that bunker, you can actually just lose the game. The bunker must survive when this occurs. Like, there is not another option. You don't lose the bunker, then pull up the ramp or something. It's just too much damage output. So here are 3 goons, 6 zealots. Okay, that's the amount he's going to be going with. Immediate pull here on those SCVs. The zealots putting out tons of damage. Oh my god, that bunker, though, being repaired so quickly right now. And it looks like he will end up holding. He picks off quite a few SCVs, no doubt about that. A lot of units falling. So he ends up taking a bunch of damage on 1 Dragoon, losing 5 zealots, and then hull damage on another. But in the meantime, takes a slight probe advantage. The Nexus only just started, so you still have to consider this an advantage for Scan, who, by the way, double add-ons on his factories. So he will be getting into tanks, but oh god, like, I guess you don't have to go siege mode because you do have 4 Marines in the bunker and then 4 additional Marines. But the tanks are going to be sniped if he's not super on top of his micro. Okay, he gets siege mode, so I'm not surprised about that. Like I was kind of explaining, basically once you have 4 Dragoons, they 2-volley a siege tank. So it's very difficult to fight that without siege mode. And then obviously as you get more Dragoons, it's even harder to hold on. So I think it's a really smart choice to get that siege mode upgrade. 2 siege tanks on the way right now. The goons putting a ton of pressure onto this bunker. We have just a slight SCV lead for Scan right now. Oh, I love that he's landed this barracks up here. This is a great usage of that second barracks that you don't really need. Really, truly, that's some great usage of that. All right, so siege mode is just about to finish. Oh, looks like Motive mismicros a Dragoon there and does lose it. Tank sieges up, and the Dragoons do have to pull back. Now, this is where Motive has to decide what he's going to do. I think what we'll probably see here is directly into Reaver and a 3rd base. That is kind of the standard for Eclipse nowadays, right? Like, you want to offensive gas. You can kind of, like, it's a little bit more, like, stylistic and personal preference for how much pressure you want to put on with that offensive gas. This was super heavy pressure from Motive. But either way, you want to go into Reaver after that generally, so Terran can't really push you, and that's going to allow you to take additional bases. So I believe that's what we'll end up seeing. Scan's starting to push out immediately here. He does have siege mode to kind of zone everything back, and that's going to allow his vultures to slip out. In the meantime, this barracks buying a bit of time, has to bring some units up here to eliminate it. Won't take too long, but it slows it down some, and he really doesn't need the second barracks. So again, I really like that move. And since that is going to be a bit late, it looks like he's sending a probe down to expand towards the bottom. Oh god, the vultures he sent out, though, that's funny. They were actually going to go this way, but then the goons send them back. Will they run into this? They will run into the probe. So that's like kind of like that's a whole bunch of things happening at once that led to this probe being found. It's not that common to take this base that early. I understand why Motive was sending it down here, but now Scan kind of is aware that that is something on his mind right now, which is very powerful. In the meantime, we've lost that barracks over here. Looks like that forward gateway as well will be picked off. Scan killing one of his own Marines because he was supply blocked there, and the Marines just don't scale at this point. They're not that useful anymore. Let's take a look at Scan's base. Okay, we do have the armory up. It hasn't started upgrading yet. Lots of siege tanks being produced. Quite a few goons coming down with the observers. And of course, we do have a Reaver on the way. Yeah, the first Reaver just popped out, and shuttle speed is coming as well. So will Scan try to push? He adds 2 factories, so that answers that for us. Absolutely yes. But I think 6 tanks is it. You have to... If you're going to push, you got to push now. Now, he throws down this turret. So he may have decided that he cannot push, but he needs some more units out there. That's kind of what this is looking like right now. Throws down the academy as well. You know, this is such a wide open area for Terran to defend, right? You need to defend this whole area and then also the way up to the ramp and be able to defend in your third base. So it can be a difficult area to defend. Sometimes you need a lot of extra units, but it looks like he just kind of used that turret to zone everything back. Oh, the shuttle coming in, and he is going to go for the attack. Now, speed is almost done on that shuttle. How is this going to go down? These are pretty even army sizes right now. Scan has speed, mines, and siege mode. He has a good amount of Marines, so you can't just fly the shuttle right over the army. The Marines can get that. Oh, mine drag there. Gets rid of a few vultures. Not a big deal, though. Okay, here we go. The shuttle coming up. Shuttle speed not quite done. The Marines start to target it down. He's got to be so careful about that. Oh my god, one scarab kills everything but one Marine, and it ends up going down. So now the shuttle is going to be completely fine, but the siege tanks are starting to clear some of these Dragoons. Reaver being dropped over near these siege tanks, helping to clear them out. Can drop right in the middle at this point, and it looks like that is going to be very close to the end of the push. Scan does unsiege. He's got to pick that up. Just barely has units left over here. You can see how even that battle truly was. But we have 6 gates, 2 more on the way, as well as the robo. So that is 5 production buildings active right now against the 4 here of Scan. Also, he's low on siege tanks. Those are going to be a long time to reinforce. Double Reaver comes over and unloads. And of course, this means that the siege tank will end up going down. I like how Scan is microing his heart out here, trying to make something happen against these Reavers. But of course, that is not going to end up working. And it looks like a complete hold at this point for Motive. Okay, Motive right now. Citadel is up. We'll see if he goes into Templar Archives from here, or this is just for speed for now. There is the possibility he just super masses up gateway units. In a situation like this where the third base is a bit later for Terran, sometimes you see Protosses do that and try to make an arc. But we're kind of low overall on army sizes. I mean, for 12 minutes and 30 seconds, this is a time where both sides could be maxed in a completely normal game. So you can see how scrappy this has been. And of course, when you get scrappy like this and the unit counts get very, very low, things like vultures become super powerful. The Protoss doesn't have a big enough army to really box them in or box them out, however you may look at that. So he is running ramp on the map, adding some factories here as well. Command center flying over to the third base while he sieges up and spreads out his turrets. And I think we're entering a period of relative passivity, right? There's not a lot either side is going to be able to do to push. Like, there could be light harassment flying around with the Reaver shuttle, running around with vultures, but the armies themselves don't look like they can really go across the map right now. Now, that being said, Motive is pumping out a lot of Zealots at this point. Legs are on the way, so he definitely is getting ready to battle, right? Zealots are something you start to make when you're kind of getting ready for an attack. Wow, that mine was actually kind of sick. Takes the shields off of so many Zealots. Don't know if that'll actually end up being impactful, but I like it. Now, double speed shuttle flying into the third base. Going to drop some Zealots and the Reavers here. Oh, God, this is a brutal drop. No missile turrets were actually ready. And the Reavers starting to get that damage down, knocking down some of these turrets as well. Command center has to be lifted. That SCV count definitely, well, I mean, it's still okay, but he did chunk it down a little bit, I guess. 62 is still going to be fine for him. Scarabs going off, clearing out some of these turrets. Just very, very annoying. Like, at this point, you're probably going to have to bring up Goliaths. Yeah, you see he did make a handful of Goliaths here to help push back these shuttles. Charon boosters not quite ready yet. Oh, nice micro here from Motive, getting those big Scarabs off. Oh my god. Just so annoying to deal with. Now, that being said, he is going to end up losing the shuttles. Or not. Okay, well, both Reavers in deep red, as well as the shuttle in red, going to get away there. Very frustrating moment for Scan. Down over 40 supply, and 60 supply now in army. And at these supplies, you're not going to be able to hold on very easily against an incoming attack. If you have like 140 supply against 200 supply, that's another story. This, though, it's like you don't quite have critical mass to hold on against anything. So I think this might be a killing move here from Motive. Starts to come down. The goons leading the charge, clearing some mines, clearing some tanks. Here come the speed lots in from the side. And with only a few tanks up this ledge, as well as the Reavers being dropped, this looks like it might be the beginning of the end here for Scan. Not a lot left. This third base going to be in shambles. The goons not going to let any reinforcements come up to the third base either. And yeah, I think we're going to be seeing GG here. Like, yeah, look, one tank coming out, 4 vultures as well. This army very simply, very easily plows through that. So Scan just starting to absorb his loss. It looks like Motive is going to tie this one up 2-2 as Scan tries to make his final defense. GG.